My name's Evan, new for NAMM 2016. We have the new pocket operators from Teenage Engineering. We have Robot, Arcade, and Office. These are all 16-step sequencers with the exception of the Robot, which is a 2-channel 16-step sequencer. All 3 pocket operators run on 2 AAA batteries. One great new feature is that you can factory reset each one of them. So if you ever get into trouble and you've made a pattern that you don't like, you can simply hold the pattern button and remove the batteries, and that will factory reset it so that it starts over just like it was in the factory. Once you put the batteries back in, it's back to being brand new with all the sounds and the patterns the way they were when you first bought it. First, we have the Arcade, which is geared toward gaming sounds. If I press the sound button and I start auditioning sounds, these are very reminiscent of what you would hear in an arcade game. So if you want to hear some patterns on the Arcade, you simply hold the pattern button and you press any of the numbers 1 through 16. We'll press hold pattern and press 1, and then we'll press play. I just press play again to stop. If I want to hear pattern number 2, hold pattern, press number 2. Play to stop, pattern number 3. And that's just a quick way to audition all the patterns. There's 16 patterns, 1 for each step. If I'm playing a pattern, I can punch in real-time effects with the effects button. And to do that, I'm simply holding the effects button and then pressing one of the step numbers. Each step number is a different effect. The Arcade has a chord feature, so you can program different chords for each step, and then you can hear those back in real time. So what I'm doing there is while it's playing, I'm holding the chord button and then I'm turning knob A, and each one of the buttons here is a different chord symbol. So when I press a button, it gives me a certain chord, and then I turn the button to swell the chord into the sound. Okay, so to program a quick sequence, I can choose any of the sounds, and if I hold the sound button and then hold, let's say, step number 16, you'll see what lights up is any time during the sequence that particular sound plays. And then I can press each of the buttons when in write mode to turn them on or turn them off. Now you'll notice that sound is completely gone. If I want to record that sound back into the sequence, I simply press play while I'm in write mode. This little symbol right here tells you you're in write mode. And you can do this for each one of the sounds. So if I hold sound and press number 2, you'll see that the grid, the lit steps actually change, and now I'm actually working with a different sound if I press play. So all the features that I've just shown on the Arcade are common to all 3 pocket operators. In fact, they're common to these 3, and they're common to the older models as well. So Office is a pocket operator that uses sounds from the office, like fax machines, printers, and if I audition the sounds, they sound like this. And I can audition patterns the same way. Hold pattern, press another step. So with Office, Arcade, and Robot, I can punch in real-time effects by turning knob A and knob B while holding the right button. So I'll press play on the sequence, hold the right button, So a feature that's unique to Office is the solo button. So I can solo any of the steps while I'm playing back the sequence. Robot contains all the same features as Arcade and Office, but it also has a unique feature, which is an additional sequencer channel. The first 15 steps are called the melody channel, and step number 16 is the drum channel. So when I audition sounds, if I press any of the numbers 1 through 15, I'll get a melodic tone. When I press step 16, I get drums. So this gives you a lot of flexibility when you're programming your patterns because you can have melody and drums on 2 separate channels. So when I hold pattern and select a pattern, you get distinct programming between melody and drums because of the 2-channel sequencer. The robot also has a unique feature called glide. When I hold the glide button, you hear an ascending and descending effect when you press and release one of the sound buttons. You'll also notice when I hold one of the sounds, you get vibrato. I can adjust the depth and the speed of the vibrato using knob A and knob B. One cool feature on all 3 pocket operators is that I can start a pattern from scratch by holding glide on the robot and pressing pattern. It clears the entire pattern so I can start composing from nothing. All the pocket operators have jam sync functionality. So with a stereo 1/8" cable, you can plug the out into the input and the output into the input, and you can daisy chain 6 pocket operators for jam synchronization, meaning that the slaves, if this is the master, the slaves will take the tempo from the master, and you can create a composition using all 6 pocket operators, and they will all take the tempo of the master pocket operator, whichever one is at the beginning of the chain. The great thing about these pocket operators is that they're portable. You can take them anywhere. You can plug in a set of headphones, or you can use the internal speaker and check them out at your local Guitar Center or guitarcenter.com.